Morning. This is Miriam, my Hebrew name. My legal name is Barbara Ann Bachmeier-Levy. Welcome to Light again. This is the second report. Happy New Year. It is now January 4th, 2025. A reminder, Light nonprofit, is a compassionate nonprofit organization dedicated to providing support to individuals in the recovery community. This includes funds to help remove barriers to sustaining sobriety, a clean and sober, productive lifestyle. Vouchers will also be available to provide access to community membership focused on personal and spiritual growth to souls on the path to ascension through mastermind groups, support groups, and educational resources, and more. Proceeds and donations support the recovery community of those afflicted by drug addiction. For example, vouchers can be made available for individuals in clean, sober living homes to help with initial rent while they are looking for employment, or to help remove barriers to success, such as help with transportation or getting a valid ID or help with food or work clothing, etc. Or to purchase recovery related 12-step books, such as the Big Book. Uses of vouchers are not limited by these examples, but will be directly related to the support and facilitation of clean and sober living. Light will exist to assist clean and sober living, homes, rehab and detox facilities, and other recovery organizations and/or individuals identified by such organizations as eligible recipients. Structure of Light has two pillars. And this is a rough draft. It is a work in progress. But for now, it is going to be described as such. Community and psychospiritual educational resources. Vouchers will be provided to donors and to individuals who are in recovery for a My Divine Light membership, which is being donated by Welcome Wellness. Pillar 1 of Light, the community and psychospiritual educational resource access. Vouchers for courses donated by Welcome Wellness through the My Divine Light website. Mini reads, vouchers for memberships donated by Welcome Wellness through the My Divine Light website. Mastermind groups, support groups, educational content that includes self-help courses. And the second pillar includes the charity support. The funds will be received by Light to use to distribute to the various individuals and or organizations by way of fundraisers, grants, and accepting individual donations. The board of directors includes President Mitchell Saylor, Treasurer, me, Barbara Ann Levy, and Secretary Andrew Levy. We have room for 4 more for Light Illinois. Current status. So we do still have the Wix website, Light. It has not been completed. I am still working on that. The nonprofit setup is complete in that it is recorded by the Secretary of State. However, the people that did the work made a lot of mistakes. They did not assign officer status to our board of directors, and the bank will not open up a bank account unless they can see that on the Secretary of State website. So I have to work with them to get that fixed. And they got our addresses wrong. They put our mailing address down as our living address, and they put our living address down as our mailing address. So that makes it difficult to receive mail properly. And I'm just going to work directly with the Secretary of State because I have spent hours upon hours upon hours working with Zoom, legal, and They just aren't getting the job done. So I'm going to just go directly and do it. I'm changing from Think If It. It's an unnecessary cost. Courses and workbooks, educational content will now be created by my for-profit business on a new website called My Divine Light. I discovered that I can actually create courses and upload courses directly to the website using Wix. So that is what I'm going to do. And I will then create vouchers for free memberships or access to the Welcome Wellness content to both individuals who are identified as people who can benefit, in the recovery community, and to donors. So that is the way for them to get the access to the membership bundles and content for all of the educational self-help content. Later, I will do a PowerPoint on the structure of that, but since it is a Welcome Wellness, My Divine Light information PowerPoint, it needs to be done separately. Money will be raised primarily by grants and donations. Also, Welcome Wellness, My Divine Light will put out commercials and advertise the need for such donations. So the plan is this. Once I get the self-help content going, and I have enough content actually in a good distributable form for consumers, I will then start some YouTube shows. I'm not sure if I'm going to use YouTube, but YouTube or some platform like that, and provide some self-help tidbits. You see them, they're all over the place. But if anybody becomes interested enough to watch mine, I will be able to also put in the infomercial about the Like to Light nonprofit, and then people can make that connection, and they will learn how to get free vouchers for free access to the memberships with the My Divine Light website membership by making a donation to Light to Light. That's how it's going to be set up. So what's next? After several attempts to actually work with the bank, they kept canceling our appointments, wasn't able to get a hold of people, so on and so forth. I have made a bank appointment. Well, let's put it this way. This is old news. I haven't updated this. I actually had my bank appointment, and that's how I found out that the Secretary of State did not have my information recorded correctly. So my next actual step is to work with the Secretary of State, get that corrected, and then U.S. Bank, which has banks in California and Illinois, will let me make the Illinois bank account. So that's just stuff I got to do. Pray that the angels will be with me. I was really frustrated on that day when I wrote this slide. And then I wrote that the tax accountant consultation would be on Friday, January 3rd. Well, obviously that was yesterday. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened in that. It went pretty well. The guy scheduled me for 30 minutes, and he spent almost an hour and a half with me. I learned so much. The legal consultation, I'm going to have a legal attorney consultation because I want to make sure that I'm just doing everything correctly. And that is January 7th, 2024, at 12 p.m. Pacific time. And like I said, when I explain what I learned from this tax accountant and everything they're going to do for me, that might be enough to be in compliance, but I want to run everything through the legal attorney consultation. So my LegalZoom membership, even though they made a mistake on how they filed with the Secretary of State, my membership for $50 a month or something like that includes these a certain number a year of free consultations with an attorney. And so that is what I'm doing on the 7th. Just going to run everything by him, make sure I'm kosher. We'll skip this for now. Just refer to the initial report. This is still going to get more and more fleshed out as we move forward, but I just put out my initial thoughts down of, what I'm actually currently doing as the person running the organization at this time. But I will say, I believe that light to light, what I'm going to set for light to light, since I'm having meetings with myself, is to have a 5-year goal of being really up and running, sustainable, paying its own overhead, and have really being able to produce that support that Light to Light is created to produce. For example, helping people pay that first month's rent, helping people get the work clothes that they need, or their ID, or their transportation, that is actually doing it, and all the bells and whistles are in place, websites, content, the whole 9 yards, feeling good, up and running, passing all the legal beagle tests, and doing well. You can even apply for a badge of good standing from the Secretary of State in Illinois. So that would look really awesome. Maybe that would be our little woohoo, we did it. Plus, we'll have the board of directors full, and maybe even make enough money to hire someone to do some of the admin work that I'm currently doing. That's a dream, and I have a 5-year goal for that. I want to plug this in. I'm not putting it in the slide. But in 5 years, if this is really doing well, it'll be easy to duplicate it in California. And we have 2 people that might be very interested in running the exact same light to light in California. They, now that I'm paving the way and I will know how to set it up, I will have all these people lined up. All we have to do is wash, rinse, repeat. And I'm making a 5-year goal of that. Might happen in 2. It's really the angels. First of all, God, Hashem, is in charge of this process.
Barbara, here is your reminder.
I can't get rid of this. I can't have 15 minutes. Okay, I am sorry that Alexa interrupted, but I got this far, so I'm not going to do it over again. Hopefully the dogs won't bark. Note to self, I will start doing this in my dedicated office that is in the backyard to prevent this from happening. But since probably no one's even going to listen to this, I don't think it's going to be this big of a deal. So moving forward, I just wanted to kind of insert some of my hopes and dreams, my vision for what may be with Light to Light. And again, I want to reiterate it that Light to Light is God's project. Our advisory board includes all of God's angels that God has assigned to Light. And anybody who's on the board of directors or who is an independent contractor with Light to Light actually works for God. They have to be instruments through which God's light is going to pour out into the world to be part of the process of light overcoming the darkness. So I just want to put that in there, and we will see what happens. But having goals and getting some concrete ideas helps us with a compass to use while we're actually here doing the work so that we can make sense of it, and that's the way I do it. Okay, there's my spiel on that. So, I'm still working on setting up, Light to Light, obviously. We have the EIN, which is necessary for the bank. And I'm gonna work on the voucher, volunteer access. I'm going to get help setting up a volunteer process, facilitate mastermind groups. I'm going to do all that as I already talked about through the My Divine Light. And then once everything's set up and we're getting money, then after that we'll seek and research the proper fundraising options and who should be receiving the donations. And then once we do that, of course, we will vet appropriate recovery community projects. So this isn't going to be done all by me. This is going to be a collective project. Reiterate that the nonprofit was completed by LegalZoom. We have the Articles of Incorporation and the EIN. The website still needs work. I am also working on creating the My Divine Light website so that I can have the 3 areas of self-help groups that will include psychological and spiritual and coaching. But it's all self-help. So self-help, psychological, anxiety, so on and so forth. And spiritual, which is my big bent, if you will, and then some life coaching, questions to ask yourself, how to plan your life, whether it's, business or life or relationships that's lighter than psychological. Psychological is going to have more of the basic best practice psychology interventions that you can actually use for yourself to help facilitate overcoming some rough patches. But the coaching will be more motivational, a lot of psychology, positive psychology application, powerful questions to ask yourself and ways to hold yourself accountable, that sort of thing. So that's a little window about what My Divine Light is going to offer. But like I said, that is separate from Light to Light, but we'll donate the vouchers to the memberships. So anything more completed? I talked about what we're doing for the to-do. Complete the bank account, going to set up accounting and tax process, set up a compliance process, set up a volunteer process, a legal way to allow people to volunteer and contribute. I need to work on content creation. I need to work on a YouTube channel. I need to work on both of the websites. I'm putting actual facilitating groups and facilitating support groups and all that. I'm putting that on hold until I get some of this other work done because this other work is consuming all my time. Anybody wants to join in and facilitate some mastermind groups, support groups? I can't pay you. So I don't know if that will work since I'm doing it under my for-profit business, but let's talk if you have ideas. And we're putting on hold the researching and connecting and vetting until after that's all done. So this is kind of a 3-stage to-do process. Here we go. It got fixed here. I just have to get rid of that slide. Okay, so it's going to pay for helping me do the paperwork to reflect that I made the loan for the initial setup with LegalZoom and for a tax company to do all my taxes for me to keep me in compliance. This is quite a lot of money. Filing the 1023 with the feds, a business plan, filing 501c status, filing for both federal and state tax forms yearly. And additionally, I'll have access to help with access to grant writers, setting up to be able to hire independent contractors, additional consultation through a dedicated advisor that's supposed to be assigned to me. Now, I don't have to make my commitment to this for 10 days, which means I'll be able to talk to the legal attorney before I make this commitment. So I'm running this all through the legal consultation before I actually sign that. But this does sound like a service that might hit all the bells and whistles that I need to hit to get everything in compliance. I will need help with copyright questions. I don't know if I can get that with LegalZoom, and I will also need help setting up just a volunteer to make it legal and to see if I need liability. So, in other words, if people want to physically volunteer, like let's say we all vote to buy 500 12-step big books and distribute them to clean and sober homes. Well, the people that are signing up to do that volunteering, how can I make that legal, and how can we protect ourselves from liability should somebody have an issue with us for some reason? So I'm going to ask those questions. So that is what my next step is to getting that stuff squared away and getting the banking done. I didn't put that in there, but I do need to get the banking done and the Secretary of State done. And the ideas for volunteers and contributors, anybody who just wants to jump in and learn what I'm doing as I'm going on, just even though these PowerPoints aren't pristine, you're going to learn how to run a nonprofit organization by watching every single step that I took, that I'm making, and you will see how you could jump in and help. Maybe website management, maybe, there's a lot of things. I didn't really update this slide. I will as soon as I can. Hopefully I won't be a one-person show forever, and I can do better, but this is where we are, and I will leave it at that. I want to remind you, Light to Light nonprofit, our mission is to heal, uplift, and unbound the human soul. Over and out. Love y'all. Bye.